Hey guys, what's up? My name's Belinda. Today we're going to get into a little bit of tea about Patrick Starr and Sephora and Selena Gomez's makeup line Rare Beauty. Now, if you remember, I think it was last week, I did a video on Selena Gomez's line Rare Beauty being reviewed by Patrick Starr. A lot of people thought Patrick Starr's review was quite shady, quite salty, and we talked about it, went through some of the comments under his YouTube video, which were quite harsh, by the way. Yeah, quite a few Karens, I thought, in the comments. But now some more tea has come out about that whole situation. So a lot of other drama channels have talked about Patrick Starr and the CEO of Juvia's Place, Chi Chi. Now, Patrick Starr and Chi Chi were both feuding back in 2019. Jackie Aina got involved. But that is not what we're going to be talking about today. No, because there is actually some more tea in this situation. Now, it's to do with Manny MUA. Recently, I think maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago, Manny MUA came out in one of his Instagram stories and said Luna Beauty, his own brand, would not be stocked in Sephora anymore after this blush palette. The Moon Prism blush palette was going to be the last thing that was going to be stocked in Sephora stores. And then after that, no more. Honestly, I wish I recorded that IG story at the time so that I could pop it in here, but unfortunately I didn't record that one. Did have a look for it today, see if I could find it. You know, I searched for the Snapchat today to see if I could find that, just to put that receipt in here for you, but I couldn't find it. So unfortunately we'll have to do without that today. Now, the reason why this is interesting is because Manny MUA is friends with Patrick Starr. Patrick Starr recently gave Selena Gomez's line Rare Beauty a shady review. Now, I know why Patrick's review was less than glowing. Selena Gomez's line that's come out, it's a full range. It's a fully realised makeup brand. You've got everything in the brand. You've got highlighters, concealers, foundations, eyeliner, everything, lipsticks, blusher, liquid blush, you know, there's everything that you could want to do a full face of makeup within that line. And today some more tea was spilled because they've actually come out with an eyeshadow palette now as well. So when you think about it, Selena Gomez's Rare Beauty line is a complete full makeup range. Like, they've got every product you could want to put on your face. Now, One Size Beauty, which is Patrick Starr's brand, they've only released makeup remover wipes, a makeup setting spray, or sorry, makeup remover spray. I always get confused because it's a can, like one of these kind of things. So no, it's not a setting spray, it is a makeup removing mist spray. So there's the makeup remover spray, makeup removing wipes, which One Size Beauty have released, and they recently came out with one eyeshadow palette and an eyeliner. So because both of these brands, One Size Beauty and Rare Beauty, are under the Sephora brand, I think Patrick Starr is pissed that Rare Beauty have got this full range out right now that people can go and purchase. Whereas if you've only got an eyeshadow palette, some eyeshadow toppers, eyeliner, so you've only got products for the eyes and then some makeup remover products like the spray and the wipes, then, you know, people are going to be able to spend more money on the Rare Beauty brand. Not to sound shady, because, you know, I love Patrick Starr, I think Patrick Starr's great, but if those are the only products you've got when the store that your products are in, the store that your products are under, have, you know, put out this whole makeup brand from a celebrity, somebody who's not on YouTube as like a makeup artist or a beauty guru, and you've been on YouTube as a beauty guru for a number of years, you're gonna feel pissed. You know, you're going to have a bit of a chip on your shoulder about that. Patrick Starr's been on YouTube for years, you know, doing makeup, so I can see why he's pissed, because Sephora have given him a shit deal with this. When Manny MUA came out with this Instagram story where he said, oh, you know, my brand's not going to be in Sephora anymore and all of that stuff, he did say there's some drama that I don't want to talk about with it. So the drama would be them sort of shafting Patrick Star with this rare beauty thing, I think. But not only that, because Sephora also came under fire for being shady to employees over the whole COVID-19 situation. I think it was April of this year. Yeah, April this year, they came under fire for announcing that they'd be laying off a lot of part-time and seasonal staff. So they said, okay, right, you guys have all lost your jobs. But what was shady about it was then they turned around and said, oh, but we're going to take on something like 9,000 full-time employees. So if you're going to cut off all your part-time employees and seasonal workers to hire full-time staff, surely doesn't that mean all of those part-time and seasonal workers could have held on to their jobs? Bitch. There is actually a statement from T-Spill on this, so I'm going to pop that in here. So you can see by that statement that T-Spill put out, Sephora had said they promised to take care of their employees when the virus hit, but then went back on that promise, firing all of those part-time employees, seasonal employees, and then came up with some shit that they were going to take on 9,000 full-time employees. Yep. I did a little bit of research on it. I looked it up. I was shocked. Like, how do you do that as a company, as a big retailer? How are you going to treat your staff like that? That is kind of disgusting. And, you know, to fire them all by conference call as well, that sucks. That is really disgusting. So I think, you know, Manny MUA may have pulled his Luna Beauty brand from Sephora stores for the way they treat their staff and the way that they've treated Patrick Star with his One Size Beauty launch. And that, I think, is the tea on that. And on to our next topic, Jeffree Star. Now, Jeffree Star's been very, very quiet on social media for the last few days. I think because people have obviously figured out, you know, that he was lying about this guy that he was seeing and stuff like that. There's been all these scandals. I think because people have figured it out, Jeffree Star is going to sort of go into hiding for months, you know, maybe even never come back to IG stories and Snapchat stories and things. I really don't know. But I think he's going to be away from social media for a few months at least. I honestly do. Given the way that things have gone for him in the last few months, yeah, he's going to be away for a little while. Definitely. And, you know, I'm a fan, so that does kind of, you know, it's a bit like, oh, but given all the scandals and the way that he's made himself look recently, I think it's probably a good idea. You've also got to factor in the whole thing that he did with James Charles and Shane Dawson and Tatty Westbrook. Now, Tatty Westbrook still hasn't returned to social media at all. You know, I wonder if she ever will. Or I don't know if, like, a lot of these older, bigger YouTubers like Tatty Westbrook, Jenna Marbles, you know, we've had Gabby Hanna going and coming back. But I think there are some older YouTubers who are fed up on the platform and maybe do just want to leave. So I wonder if Jeffree Star is one of them. Like, you know, Jeffree Star's been on YouTube since, what, 2015, I think? So it's a few years. But, you know, you've got other people like Tatty who've been on here for longer. So I don't know. I don't know if she'll come back or not. It'd be interesting to see. I mean, I would personally welcome her reviews back because I always used to watch her reviews. I did stop watching them after the whole James Charles scandal though, because I thought her Bye Sister video was so shady that I just kind of got really sort of off put, because I never saw Tatty as that. I never ever expected Tatty Westbrook as that, you know. So yeah, that was a little bit shocking, and I just sort of went, no, not really watching her anymore. She's doing the most. Also, now that we know the James Charles accusations were false, I'm like, no girl. You know, Tatty can say, oh, they manipulated me into making that video. but she made the decision to sit down in front of her camera at the end of the day. She made that decision to sit down in front of her camera and record that 40-odd minute video. She made a mistake. You know, do you forgive him? That's the thing. Do you forgive Tatty Westbrook for laying into James Charles in the way that she did? You know, I think that's going to be up to the general public to decide, really, see what the reaction is like if Tatty comes back. I don't know if she will, if she might just go away and try and focus on having a family. It'll be interesting to see. Anyway, it'll be really, really interesting to see what happens now with Jeffree Star, with Tatty Westbrook, Shane Dawson. If any of them come back, it will be really interesting to see. Then you've also got to factor in with Jeffree Star, there was this whole thing about him, you know, calling Dovey Vanity a predator, a child molester, all of that stuff back in the day, and then going back on tour with him in 2012. He called him a child molester in 2010, went back on tour with him in 2012, I think it was. So it's like, you're now known as the person who called someone a child molester and then went back on tour with them. How do you fix that? How can you fix your public image now? You know, now that people know that about you. Because the thing about Jeffree Star calling Dovey Vanity a child molester, that was one of Jeffree Star's own tweets. So like, he can't take that back. He did that from his own Twitter account. So you can't take that back. That's there forever. You know, it's not a fake screenshot. It's an actual tweet from Jeffree Star. You can't take that back. Then there's the whole thing with James Charles, because he did that one to Dovey Vanity in 2010. Then 2019, he does the same kind of thing to James Charles, when he called James Charles a predator and had a go at James Charles's brother. So that's a pattern of behaviour. You know, I've made videos on this in the past, since deleted, but I did make videos on this in the past. So, you know, I'm not too keen to kind of rehash that whole situation, but I know that was the pattern of behaviour. So I'm like, okay, where do you go from here, Jeffree Star? How can you fix it? It'll be interesting to see if he does come back at all. Like I said, him, Shane Dawson, after all the shit that's come out about him, you know, I have enjoyed Shane Dawson's content. I've enjoyed his kind of Chuck E. Cheese conspiracy theories, those silly things. All of those, I've really enjoyed them, right? But all the shit that came out about him, was it gross? Yeah, I mean, do we forgive him? I do. I'm not going to speak for anyone else here. I would forgive Shane Dawson, because the things that Shane Dawson did, when he did them, he was very young. You know, he wasn't like, you know, in his 20s or whatever. Whereas Jeffree Star, what he did, he was in his 20s and 30s. So I'm kind of a bit like, now with Jeffree Star, I don't know how he can come back from it. You know, I've been kind of down about it, but it might sound silly, but how's he going to come back from it? How do you come back from that? Anyway, I am going to love you and leave you, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, take care, stay safe, stay well. Mwah. Bye guys.